What's up, everybody? On this episode of Shaman Sundays, it's just gonna be me and you because, well, my guest got sick. So let's kick it off. What's up, everybody? Why am I freezing? I don't like it. I'm gonna switch. Stand by for a minute, guys, while I switch internet access. I don't like that. Dooby dooby doo. Is that better? Nope, not better. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's better. You know what we're gonna do? Alright. So, thank you, Tabitha. Standing. I don't like that either. So we're just gonna drop the Mystic background. So, there's some upgrades here to the studio, and I'm working through it. I got in a fight with my green screen, so no green screen. You just get to see the crap in the back of the room. Thank you, Carol. I will. And I also need to say, so our guest this evening came down with the sickness that's going around, so I hope it's okay, but it's just going to be you and me tonight. But we will light the sage for all of that negativity. Hang on. Sometimes you got to take your sage when it gets to a certain point and like press it down on something. So if you guys ever have an issue with your sage lighting, just press it down and then it'll get in there a little bit better. And it starts right up. It is the gremlins. Well, it's raining too and it's nasty. And I don't know. So let's light the sage to get rid of all that negativity that you're bringing with you forward. And let's go into the next week with some good energy. So like I said, unfortunately George couldn't be with us this evening. He came down with the thing that shall not be mentioned. So it's just us. I hope that's okay with everyone. I hope you can hear me. I got a brand new, kind of expensive mic set up because I've been told that my sound was going in and out. And so hopefully that fixed that. Let's say hey to everybody. Let's say hello to Carol. Hi, Carol. Tabitha. My nephew Logan. Hey, Logie. Hey, buddy. Who else do we have? We have Cindy. Go bait. What's up, Cindy? Hey, I need to send you a private message. I gotta ask you questions. So after the show, I'm gonna send you a message. And we got Kimmy Corpse. Who else do we have? Oh, and we have Stephanie. Hello. Y'all, seriously, go check out Stephanie on Facebook and stuff. She does all these really cool, like, lip sync videos and from, like, the 70s, 80s. And it's so much fun. Go check her out. So, unfortunately, I'm having to kind of wing it. Obviously, you see the background's weird, and hopefully this is going to be the only show where I'm just a little off. Like I say, I got some upgrades going on to try to bring you better content. So hopefully it works. And before we get into tonight's topic, so I'm doing my first online class ever. It's going to be called The Folds of Life, Lesson 1. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I think I put the link in the chat. There we go. It's going to be December 2nd, 7 p.m. Eastern. All you got to do is click on the link and register. You don't have to pay. I'm not going to charge. I never charge anybody. Thank you, Tabitha. I have a new webcam coming too, so hopefully it'll be better and we'll have a cool background. Yeah, you don't have to pay anything for this class. I would accept donations, and that's on the link. But it should be a fun time. It's going to be very interactive. So if you guys have ever wanted to take a class, well, this is your chance. But bear with me because it's going to be my first class ever that I've done online. I think I got it set up right. But please join me. Like I say, just click the link that is in the chats right now. Also, it's posted on all of our socials. So, there's that. I thought since it's just going to be us tonight, I thought we'd talk a little bit about, it's the holiday season and a lot of toxicity during the holiday seasons. So I thought I would bring up forgiveness. Let's talk forgiveness. I've talked boundaries before when it's just been us, when I had no guest. Boundaries are important, but so is forgiveness. I was talking to somebody the other day on Facebook, and they were talking about how some people don't deserve to be forgiven, and stuff like that. Well, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. And you don't even have to tell the person you forgive them. All you have to do is just forgive. That's the only way to get rid of anger. Those of you just joining, thank you. It's just going to be me tonight with no background. I'm working on it. We're going to have, next Sunday, we'll have really good production quality. Also, George was unable to make it tonight because he got the crud that shall not be named. So is everybody good with talking forgiveness? Or if you guys just have any questions or anything, just put it in the comments. We're just going to kind of fly by the seat of our pants. I'm still getting over pneumonia, so if I sound bad, I apologize, but it is what it is. But I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I did. Got to eat with my folks. My family got to eat with the folks, and then we went down with Litriana and her husband Matt and ate dinner with their family. So I ate 2 Thanksgivings. That's why I look puffy, because I'm fat and I like it. Oh, but yeah, so forgiveness. We're gonna sit on that topic for a little bit. Oh, like it's a really big deal, forgiveness. And again, I said it's not for the other person. It's more for you and your internal happiness. Because if you hold a grudge, if you're the type that holds a grudge, anytime you see that person, think about that person rents space in your head rent free, and it angers you. It throws off your balance. It throws off a lot of things. You get wrapped around the axle about what they did. You probably sit in the shower and have these fake arguments, and you plan on what you're going to tell these people, and then you can't enjoy the shower because you're arguing with the shower head over something that happened 10, 15 years ago. Doesn't always work out. Okay, Carol, I've got a question. How do you forgive someone for something that you had nothing to do with, but you carry around a lot of hurt and madness from it? And, that just kind of goes into what I was just saying. So, how do you forgive someone? Let's break this question down. How do you forgive someone for something that you had nothing to do with? We'll just break that down. Well, that's easy, but hard. So you really have to think, is it worth you drinking poison hoping that the other person dies? That's basically what you're doing when you're holding a grudge um, from childhood. I'm assuming this is something that happened from childhood. I, too, had things that happened to me in childhood. I was molested as a child. Oh, hey, we're all family here. We talk about it. That's a rough subject to talk about, but it happened to me. All I can tell you is how I did it. I got tired of every time I thought about it, the anger and just the rage that boiled up. So I meditated on it for several weeks. Therapy also helps. I'm a proponent in the stranger theory, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, but how do you forgive someone that did something to you and you had nothing to do with it? You have to work on it. You have to. Again, like I said, not forgiving somebody and having that rage come up. Oh, that's just you drinking poison, hoping the other person dies. How do you forgive? You got to work on it, meditate on it. Um, Finally, you just come to the point where either you just to move on, to move forward, you have to forgive them. You don't have to tell them, "Hey, I forgive you." No, we don't do that. The forgiveness is you letting go of that anger, that hate, that resentment that holds you back from leveling up or loving yourself or no things of that nature. The forgiveness part is 100% just for you. Um, and we'll talk about that some in some of my classes that are coming up. Uh, but I know it's going to be a rough subject, and a lot of viewers are going to drop off probably tonight. And I don't care because somebody out there needs to hear this because this has been on my mind. James Brady, Dark 30 Paranormal, what's up, man? Hey, we're talking forgiveness tonight. It's just you and me. Unfortunately, my guest came down with a crud, so it's just gonna be us. And we're talking forgiveness. We're talking hard life facts here. Um, but how do you? Let's see, Anne Marie. Hello, Anne Marie. Wrong one. That was. You have to forgive yourself for not having control. Say, well, it doesn't matter about having control or not. You do, and that's a great point, Anne. Carol, what could you have done? You know, did you, could you, there was probably absolutely nothing you could have done. Oh, especially as a child, you're pretty defenseless, and it hurts really, really bad when the people that are supposed to be protecting you hurt you. I don't know what your situation is, and we don't need to know on a podcast, but it's rough. Those childhood traumas are hard. Oh, but as an adult, it's our jobs to stop blaming others for what they did as a child and take back control. And that's what forgiveness, forgiving somebody really is. It's taking back your control of a situation. James, I forgive you too, buddy. Hey, how am I sounding since I went out and bought this whole brand new mic just because of you complaining all the time, James? But forgiveness, like I say, it's just taking back control of your emotions. When you let you're welcome, Carol. Thanks, buddy. When when you can actually sit down and truly forgive, and it's not one of those, hey, I forgive you. Um, you have to mean it. You have to like mean it for yourself. Oh, that's slowly taking back your power. In my intro, it always says protect your power, protect your peace. Forgiveness is a huge, huge part of that. Uh, Thank you, Carol, for me sounding perfect. I'm trying to bring the best quality content I can. Um, Cindy, I held a grudge against one of my brothers for several years. I found out I have a benign brain tumor and did a lot of soul searching. And the next time I saw him, he apologized as part of his 12-step program. Wow. I'm glad you said that because I'm going to bring that up too. I forgave him. I felt my heart lighten. And see, that's what it is. You're taking. So when you're wronged as a human, of course you're gonna feel that anger. You're gonna hold on to that pain. You're gonna hold on to that rage. Some people just stuff it down, stuff it down, stuff it down. I used to be one of those people. I didn't talk about anything. I just held it down. Uh, but you hold on to the anger, and it interrupts your peace, and a little bit of your power is taken away. But once you're able to forgive, uh, and I'm glad you brought up the 12-step program. I too am a 12-stepper, coming up on 3 years of sobriety, and I'll tell you what helped. Part of the 12-step program, for those of you who do not know, is you have to make a list and you have to be willing to forgive. Now, a lot of this is forgiving yourself for the way that you have felt and held on to the pain and held on to the anger. And it's 100% about taking your power back. Because if you can't forgive, and let's be honest. Let's just put it out there. Hey, Crystal. Um, Lost my train of thought. Sorry, my poor wife's downstairs coughing. She's not feeling good. Send some good vibes to her. Part of that forgiveness is taking your power back. It's it's relieving yourself of that burden of carrying that toxicity around. Because basically, let's think about it. Somebody wrongs you in a crowd or passing by. You think about it every minute of every day. This other person has forgotten about it. They don't even know that they wronged you. They don't even know. Now, this is just for certain circumstances. Now, we know that some of the abuse from childhood or adulthood or whatever, that's a different story, and we'll cover that too. But, um, it really is. You sit there and you've given the other person your power. Um, and, you know, you only have so much power in your body. And if you just keep giving little bits of it away because somebody has hurt you or hurt your feelings, oh, what are you left with? Those of you just joining, I see the views kicking up and down. It's just us tonight. Our guest had to reschedule. We'll probably have him on December 3rd. Um, Looking at the comments. You're right, Greg. It is the third and the seventh step. Oh, and Crystal, we're talking about forgiveness. But I mean, what are some of your experiences? Let's make this interactive. When you have finally forgiven that person, whether you told them or they asked for forgiveness or you just forgave them in in the comfort of your own home. I mean, how did it make you feel? What what came about after you forgave them? And I'm sorry about this phone. I thought I had it on silence. Silence. Um, I was on Katie's page, and all of y'all are on here. You know what? If you want to interact, everybody's on Supernatural Link page. A couple people on my Shaman Sundays page. Uh, oh, we got a couple Twitch users. Hello, Twitch world. I don't know what you do on Twitch, but please subscribe or like. Uh, we're talking about forgiveness, guys, and how to. I know what I was getting at. Forgiveness also includes forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself. What does that mean? There's a lot of things that happen to us that's no fault of our own that we take ownership of. And I say we, you, me, us, we. We all do it. We're all humans. That we take that ownership of that guilt, that shame, that hurt, that heartache. And it's not ours. It's not ours to keep. It's not our burden to bear. It was something that just happened in passing. So if it happened in passing, why can't we forgive ourselves for holding on to that for so long? Oh, that's part of healing. Oh, I have the wife. Hello, Anna. She has a big one here. I think we get really hung up on the word forgiveness. It has Judeo-Christian backgrounds, baggage for some of us. True, there are other methods, energetic cord cutting, which is forgiveness, to free yourself from energetic ties to it. Also, forgiveness doesn't equal permission or saying it's okay, whatever it is. 100%. That's why I married you. That's why I love you. You're just letting go of the like I was just saying, letting go of that ownership that you have given yourself of this hurt. Um, it just drags you down, especially those of us, and here those of you that watch the show regularly, the tribe. We're all trying to better ourselves. We're all trying to love ourselves. We're all trying to get to that next level. And forgiveness is a huge, huge, huge step of that. Anne Marie says, I've done shadow work from my mind's eye. I go back to times that hurt me. I see it as it is and not always how I wanted to see it 100%. And see, and there's just going back to what Anna said, there's so many different names for forgiveness. I just use the word forgiveness because it is such a heavy word. Shadow work is also another word. However you want to do it, as long as you do it, you're not going to be able to better yourself. You're not going to be able to move on. Personal experience, I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to move on. You're not going to be able to fix yourself until you let go of some of the stuff. We all have like Gucci baggage that we come with. It just happens. But you could probably take down some of that baggage. You just carry around a little duffel bag of stuff. That's kind of where I've gotten. Um, yes, cord cutting is a part of the shadow, of course. Um, but the feeling that you get, the freedom, the true freedom that you get when you start. And I'm not saying forgiveness is going to happen immediately or overnight. It took me years and years and years and years to work through some of the things. And I did say earlier about the stranger principle, and I'll tell you about that. Stranger principle is sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger about your issues than it is to talk to a friend. Why is that? Well, we think we're burdening our friends, we think we're burdening our families. So if you need me to be that stranger, let me know. I'm easy to get a hold of. Well, kind of easy to get a hold of by text. Oh, um, I'm losing my train of thought, y'all. Sorry. Got a headache. Got all this crud. But we're going to make it through it. So, shadow work, cutting the cord, as long as it's not the silver cord, which will be a different story. Sorry, guys. Oh, I mean, it's getting your freedom back. It's getting your power, a little piece of your power back. Especially, the childhood traumas. Like, you had absolutely no control over what happened to you as a child. And yet, you're holding on to it. It's, and then that inner voice. We are our worst enemies, especially inside our own heads. Some of the things that we tell ourselves, we would never let another human being tell us. Like if somebody said some of the things that I think in my head or thought in my head a while back, I don't knock about. But yet we can do it to ourselves. So forgiveness silences that little voice up there that tries to guide you into suffering. I read the other day that most humans are addicted to suffering, which is true. It's kind of like, when's the other shoe going to drop? When you're having a wonderful, wonderful day and like everything's going right. And then all of a sudden that little voice comes in. It's like, yeah, but just wait. It's because you're holding on to things. And again, this is not an overnight process. This is not when you wake up one day and like, I forgive the world. It takes work, shadow work, personal work, meditative work. Great one, foreboding joy. Yes. And hello, Tracy. We're talking heavy tonight. It's just me tonight with you guys. I hope that's okay. Tracy. Crystal, you're right. It is a long journey. But, any type of spiritual growth, be it a religious, if you so choose, and when I say religious, I'm not talking the modern pseudo-Christian belief system and the prosperity ministries and stuff of that nature, but I'm talking, religious or spiritual. They're sometimes interchangeable, sometimes not, but, any of that type of work is a long journey. But it's got to start. Like, we're not going to reconnect with Mother Nature. And we're not going to reconnect with our inner selves until we go and hug our inner child. It throws off the vibrations. And if you guys watched last week's show, we were talking a lot about sound healing. Well, vibrations, that has a lot to do with it. Negativity, when it creeps in, it'll take over your entire body. This is why depression will shut you down. It completely gives you a whole different vibration, and everything. And a lot of that again comes with the voices in our head. That nasty, nasty little man or woman that's just trying to ruin your life that we're born with. Okay. Hey, Kim. I will. She's downstairs coughing her head off. Pot calling the kettle black, I know. But, so we're talking about forgiveness to those that are just joining in. Like I say, please chime in with some things that you have done if you have started this journey that have helped you. I'll talk about some of the things that have helped me. again. I said I'm a 12 stepper. Now, if you look at the 12 steps of AA, it's a very spiritual process, and forgiveness is big, but it's further on down the line because they know that you have to make these little milestones before you get there. And I'm not saying you can jump straight to forgiveness, but it's somewhere good to look at so you can start your journey. Crystal says, I believe it's passed down from generations as well. Holding on to grudges and not forgiving was passed down in my family. Well, that's the sins of the father seems apropos here. Well, the sins of the family, and it does come down. I have it. We believe in 7 generations. Like good can be passed down for 7 generations. Negativity can be passed down. Yes, it can. However, where does it stop? Where does it stop? That's why black sheep of the family are here to stop those generational curses. Carol says, I didn't even realize that was bothering me so much until tonight. I knew somebody needed to hear it, but I mean, it's true. It really is true. And all I want to do is give you guys some tools so you can get out of the funk. You can get out of the crap. Man, it took me years of digging and clawing and pulling myself up by the bootstraps, which I hate that saying, but it's just works. Like I say, it's not going to be overnight. Tracy says, been dealing with major depression since I was sick. I'm kicking its butt now. Of course you are, Tracy, because you're a ball of fire. I love you, Tracy. And yeah, see, and all the nastiness that we keep with us, or the generational curses, as Crystal brought up, that leads with depression, anxiety, and I'm not saying it's the main cause. No, it's not, but it is a cause. The anxiety, the social, especially social anxiety, is what I've found. Like, being around large crowds, not being able to control things. Well, the only thing we can control is ourselves. As Anna so puts it, black sheep unite. Yes. Kim Brady says, I feel I am a very forgiving person. I don't hold grudges, but I'm very leery of trusting again after they have hurt me. Which a lot of people, and I love you, Kim, but we got to be brutally honest here. A lot of people say, well, I think I'm a very forgiving person. Well, do you forgive yourself? Like, or do you just forgive them and then you hold on to all that crap that they just dumped onto you? That's part of forgiveness too. People are going, if you let them, they're going to unload all of their emotional trash, and you become a dumpster. And then the dumpster catches on fire, and then it just spirals out of control. Well, and it's a process. Anne Marie says, generational curses stopped with me. Had to be the black sheep, but it works. I love everyone, even those whom I don't like me. And once you learn to forgive yourself, and we're talking about a lot of external factors, and we're talking, and it's not just the external factors again. It's the, yes, people dump their emotional baggage on you because you let them. Completely different story for a different time. But you got to forgive yourself. Once you start forgiving yourself, in little tiny little increments, this is not going to happen overnight again. I'm just trying to mark some of these here so I don't forget them. You also can give yourself emotional garbage that you just stick in there. So yeah, you may be a very forgiving person, or so you say, but does that include you, Kim? And here we go. Shut up, Brandon. Get out of my brain. No, it's my job. It's what I do. I told you. This is what happens when they just let me just have the show and I don't have a guest. Tabitha Meadows says, I have a narcissistic family member who keeps on being controlling and hurtful around every corner. I have forgiven them so many times. I'm making a mental note there, Tabitha. They are not going to change. I don't expect them to. I'm so tired, though. I'm so tired of being a punching bag, but I have been because of who it is. I allowed this person to break my sin the other night. They just keep on. Okay, let's unpack that, shall we? We all know that narcissistic personality disorder, aka douchebags, they exist. And you said that you have forgiven them over and over and over again. Well, true forgiveness you only have to do once, and that's forgiving yourself. Again, we just talked earlier about how we have no control over anything else but ourselves. You're not going to control that person. You are definitely not going to change them. It's not your job. Your job is to take care of you. I don't give a damn if they're family or not. If they hurt your peace and your prosperity, it's okay to cut them off. So the whole blood is thicker than water. The whole saying is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which means that the family you choose is closer than blood family. You don't have to let them off the hook just because they're family. I cut family off, family's cut me off, whatever. But you have to do protect your peace. I didn't put it in my intro just because I thought it was cool. Anna, my beautiful wife, says boundaries are healthy. We're taught in society that assertiveness isn't polite. Unfortunately, well, I guess it could be the Marine in me, but I'm quite assertive, and I just don't give a damn. We're going to talk about it. Hey, oh, wow, let's welcome Doug. Doug, hey, man, I'm going to come see you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, Reverend Doug Tinsley. We're going to go ghost hunt too, buddy. Brother, you hit the nail on the head. Until you can forgive you, can never truly forgive others. And 100%. And I'm getting all kind of comments, so we're just going to keep doing it. Okay, Anna says, Tabitha, they may need to be a limited or no contact person, which we just covered. I mean, change is painful, right? Change hurts. You know why? Because the pain helps you grow. You can't grow crops on the ground without tearing the ground up first. Just saying. Trying to just catch up here, guys. I'm enjoying this. Maybe we'll just do this once a month where we just sit down. What do we got here? James Brady says, if you end up having to walk on eggshells, then you have not forgiven. You need to move on and be you 100%. Crystal Hill says, Tabitha, set those boundaries, cut ties. I am the black sheep, and I have had to choose my family. And, I've had, we may just throw a little talking about boundaries in here as well. Hello, Barbara. Welcome. We're talking about forgiveness. It's a tough one tonight. Just tuning in, our guest had to reschedule because he is under the weather. So we're just talking here. Tracy says, heck, I've cut off so many family for that stuff. Life is much better now. But I want to get back to Tabitha, and we're going to talk some more. So you've got this narcissistic individual in your family, and by your statement, it sounds like they're a close relative or inner, like the small circle of the family or whatever. So what? Cut them off. I mean, do you want to stay miserable to make them happy? Sure you do. Because that's human nature. But how about we take a step back and we look, and again, you can only control you. You can't control anybody else. So let's take a look at that lady in the mirror, Tabitha. You can only control you. And it's your happiness that's more important than anybody else's. So we need to help you take your power back. And we will. And for those of you that are just joining us, I am doing my very first online class. It's called The Folds of Life. I can repost that in the chat. All you got to do is click on the link and register. No charge, because I don't charge for this stuff. I do have my Cash App and my PayPal for donations if you so feel inclined. You don't have to. But we're going to cover a lot of this on these one-on-one like workshops. Sorry guys, I lost my place because all of these comments just keep coming. And again, I'm telling you, and it's you. Make yourself happy. I would not be able to do this show to help others, which is the whole reason why I'm put here on this planet, if I haven't forgiven myself first. Myself, yourself, ourselves, and we're talking as a tribe here. It starts with us. You know, a revolution starts with us. Internal. Cindy says, I'm 62, and only at this stage of my life have I forgiven myself and unloaded a ton of guilt and baggage and conquered my depression. Conquered is a great word. My depression and anxiety. I said that we all come with a nice luxury Gucci set of luggage. Sounds like you've packed that down to a little duffel bag, and that's all we can really do. We got to pack it down. We have to pack down, our stuff. Okay, real close. Tabitha, we can talk offline later. If you so choose and want to talk, we can definitely talk. We can 100% we talk here. Russell Reynolds says, I've cut off a bunch of friends and families because of it. And see, that's where it starts. Not cutting off people. But figuring out what you need to do. But first, I hit my desk. Get a little passionate about this, because it just is what it is. You got to start with you. There's a saying I like to say that more people have explored space than they have the deep sea, which means human nature is to go outward, not inward. Well, we have to reverse that. We got to start inward. I mean, nobody really knows about the core of the earth or, much other than, 12 feet, 24 feet under. You don't go far. Well, we have to peel back the layers. We have to go in deep. We have to figure out why we hurt and what we need to do to forgive that inner child, that inner adult that is being abused by narcissists. Now, let's just play this train out. Narcissists, is it learned, or are they acting on something that happened to them as a child? I'm not giving any leeway to their actions, but everything happens for a reason, and nothing in this world is personal. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote in his book, The Four Agreements, don't ever take anything personal, because they're lashing out because of a feeling of inadequacy or something. So, we're going to focus on the don't take things personally. Carol Garcia says, the person I spoke of earlier has since transitioned, so at least I don't have to see them daily. I beg to disagree, Carol. If you haven't forgiven yourself, do they live in your head? Do you see their essence every day still? I mean, it's a question. It's a good question. I mean, if you may not see them physically, but if you still hold on to that toxic emotional garbage that they gave you, are you truly not seeing them every day? And, it's just somewhere to think. And Marie Young says, miserable people want company. No, not today. There's a reason why the saying has been around, misery loves company. It's been around for a long time. Well, I don't have to be company with these people. And once you start forgiving yourself, I noticed something. the other day. We were riding, me and my wife, family member, were riding in the car. I like silence sometimes in the car because I'm cool with me. I like just chilling with me. The one family member made the statement, "This silence is deafening." That's because you've got some things to work on. If you can't sit with yourself, if you just can't sit down for 15 minutes with yourself without thinking, "I can't stand the silence," good. Start looking. Let's start digging. Let's start going in there. Let's start unpacking some stuff so you can protect your peace, protect your power. Barbara says, "I've been going through changing who can be a part of my life for the last 2 years. You're right. It's difficult and painful, but so healing for me. I become the person I'm supposed to be, and I'm happy." See, but and it's never going to stop. You're never going to stop growing. Change is never going to stop hurting until the day that you pass on from this life. Anne Marie says most bullies and narcissists are actually weak individuals. Correct. And I used to feel anger for those people, but I've gotten to the point where I kind of feel sad for these people, the narcissists and the bullies. I stand up. I was bullied as a kid. It happens, whatever. And then I turned into the one that stands up for the bullies. Had I not been bullied, I wouldn't be the man I am today, and I wouldn't be so protective. So sometimes the trauma in our past is made to mold us into a better person. Again, painful. It sucks. It keeps you up at night. It leads to depression and anxiety. But if you can just fight and start forgiving yourself, it's a start. It helps you. It helps you in the long run. And I mean, as you can see from some of these comments, some of these people, they're doing the thing. They're living what I'm speaking. Let's see. Chris Carr, Bigfoot, and the Bunny. Chris, thank you for tuning in. We're talking forgiveness today. It's just me with you. Our guest had to reschedule, so we're hitting the hard stuff in the holiday season. How forgiveness. We're talking forgiveness, boundaries. We're just talking about a bunch of stuff. We're doing some healing. So join us, won't you? Thank you. James Brady says, "I know who has my back." Yes, Kim has your back. I don't even like you. Kidding. Okay, Crystal Hill says, "I tell everyone, be glad I'm not the person I used to be. Growth is a wonderful thing. But at the same time, you should be glad that you're not the person you used to be. Who gives a damn what other people think?" But sometimes it's good to look back. Every now and then, I'll take a second and I'll look back. Not because I live in the past, because you can't live in the past, but it's always good to see where you came from. Just a little glimpse. That is why the rear view mirror is smaller than the windshield. A lot of people pay way too much attention about what's going on behind them. To actually see what's in front of them. Carol Garcia says, "Never thought of it that way. We'll start thinking about this more daily to heal." In just a little bit. It's just little bits. Let's not try to move mountains with this, people. Let's just do a little bit at a time. Russell says, "I'm with you, Brandon. I was bullied in school and I learned how to stand up to them." Yeah. And a lot of times, when you stand up to a bully, you don't have to knock the dog shit out of them. Yes, I'm gonna cuss on this one because I get passionate about trying to help people better themselves. But sometimes you just gotta hit them with kindness, which also is painful. To show kindness to somebody that has hurt you is painful, but it's healing. Okay, Tabitha says, "Holidays can be hard. This is a great talk." And I was thinking about it, and I was kind of down and out that I didn't have a guest, but sometimes these impromptu shows are the best. Kim Brady does have my back. Yes, she does. You know, it's also good. That brings up a good point. Before I have to take a little potty break and go to a little shaman's room. Sometimes it's who you choose to surround yourself with, not who you're born surrounded by. That helps. Guys, I'm going to put a little meditation music on. And then I will be right back. I apologize, but I've just been... Agape. Sorry about that. I'm back. Wait a minute. How do I take this off here? And we're gonna... Here we go. And we're gonna get right back to it. So I had a couple of these marked. Let's see. Anne Marie Young says, them stones that have been thrown my way build a castle in my own. It's true. It's true. Or you can look at it like another way. You know, this whole... Speaking as a man, this whole knight in shining armor coming to save the maiden is a bunch of crap. Who wants to trust a knight with shining armor with no chinks in it that's never been tested? Well, let's just say this is little chinks in your armor, and we're all being tested. Tracy Rizzo says, I find I can forgive others, but for some reason when I get sick and I have a hard time forgiving me for fixing it, wait a minute, slow down. For some reason when I probably got sick, I have a hard time forgiving me for fixing it and letting folks down even though it's not intentional. You know, there's a bunch to unpack in that. And again, it's that little voice inside your head that if anybody else in the world were to talk to you the way that you talk to yourself, you'd knock them. You knock them down. And again, it just starts with forgiving yourself. You can't control that you get sick. You can't control what other people think. You can't control anything, but you can control yourself and your attitude and the way that you start to unfold and unpack all of this. Excuse me. I gotta grab a drink. Hang on. Wow, this background down, you guys can see the real world in here. You know, when you can start to unpack things, you know, and it's okay. It's okay when you find it hard to do something or you feel bad. But let's take that feeling of feeling bad, and figure out why. You know, everything, our feelings, our emotions, happen for a reason. No, 9 times out of 10, you don't go any deeper than, well, I'm pissed. Well, why? Because I'm mad. Why? Because I am. How about we go deeper? Because such and such actually said this and that, and it hurt my feelings. Well, why did it hurt feelings? You know, if you're not afraid to dig deep, a lot of good could come from it. However, you got to start somewhere. That's why I brought up forgiveness and boundaries. Let's talk about boundaries for a little bit. Delicious Diet Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, if you're watching, I could use a sponsorship. Like boundaries, Tabitha and Carol especially, but for everybody. Like, if you don't set boundaries, of course you're going to get hurt. And you're letting yourself get hurt because you're not setting those boundaries. Boundaries suck. God, boundaries suck. But sometimes they're the difference between life and death. Metaphorically and literally life and death. You have to put up some walls. Some to protect yourself. Not walls that you set up to hide yourself, but walls that you put up to protect yourself, especially from family or toxic relationships or whatever. You have to set your boundaries. Like, I will not be talked to that way. I will not be treated this way. I refuse to. And see, okay, and your words, hey, we've got from YouTube world, Herbal Witch Corner. Hello. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Right. Go into yourself and be truthful to yourself. And also, like, taking back power means using your words. I used to say, and I'll just give you examples from my own life because, that I know me. I used to say, I can't drink. Oh, now I say I don't drink. Do you see the difference in the words? Can't is negative. I don't drink is I'm taking power over the alcohol in this instance. When setting up boundaries, you have to use words that take your power back. Can't and won't are negative. Well, can't is negative. I'm losing my train of thought again. But, words have power too. The pen is mightier than the sword is 100% true. Written word and the words that come out of your mouth. Okay, we create with our mouth, with our tongue. This is a weapon. Or this is a healer. So you got to watch what you say, because you'll speak it into existence. And there's some theories, let's get in the paranormal and cryptid world. There's some theories about cryptids that they didn't exist until a group of people started speaking them into existence. So if you can bring a cryptid into this world just by your words, imagine what you can do to yourself with words. Oh. Cindy here says the tongue is sharp. Correct. Oh. Yes, I can. 100%. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you really can. I know that's a cliche. One day when you grow up, you can be whatever you want. Yes, you can. Sure can. And you don't have to, I don't give a damn if you're poor, rich, black, white, yellow, zebra stripe. I don't care who or what you are. If you want it, and manifest it. And where do we manifest? From our mouth. Intentions start here, and then you speak it into existence. Just like you speak boundaries into existence. If you're going to set a boundary, you need to set it and then speak it out into the universe. Ooh, we getting on fire. Carol Garcia says, I've been recently paying more attention to setting boundaries and sticking to them, and I don't get walked over. So how does that make you, how do you feel about that? Like, how does that raise your self-awareness, self-confidence? Self-confidence is a great word. In other words, self-reliance. Ain't nobody coming to save you, save yourself. That's true. But you got to learn how to save yourself. Kim Brady says, can't means you don't have control over it. Don't means you are choosing not to, because you have control 100%. And again, you can't control the weather. Can't control your spouse. Can't control sure as hell can't control your kids. Just a little joke to lighten the mood. I told my dad at Thanksgiving, I was like, hey, Dad, guess what? You and I have something in common. My dad goes, what? I said, neither one of our kids listen to us. Ha! Because it's true. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ken. Carol, see, the answer is so much better. Of course it is. When you start. Now, let me pose this question, Carol. When you first started doing that, did it suck? Was it horrible? Was it painful? Was it hurtful? I guarantee you the answer is yes when you first started. Because growth and change is hard. James Brady says, I've had to realize family's forever and I love them, but I don't have to live by their rules. 100%. I mean, your blood is your blood. You don't get to pick how you come into this dimension, how you come into this world. But also, and I've heard a lot of people blame their parents. Oh, my parents did this, my parents did that. My parents weren't perfect, but you know what? They were human. And once I realized that my parents weren't some perfect creation, they were just humans that were young trying to learn how to raise another human. When you start realizing that, then little bits of forgiveness you can start thinking about, well, maybe they just didn't know any better. I'm talking about your parents. Maybe they did the best they could. Do I screw up all the time? Of course I do. Because I'm human. But it also, I forgive myself every day. It's the first thing I do when I wake up. Well, first thing I do is take my CPAP off. Second thing I do is forgive myself if I messed up or if I feel some type of way. Let that sink in. Gratitude. Oh, gratitude. I'm grateful for how I was bullied when I was a child, because now I know how to protect. I'm grateful for my parents because I'm alive. Boy, that's a power. That's another powerhouse of a word. I'm grateful that I've lived another day that I can forgive, but not forget. Don't ever forget. But I'm grateful that I can forgive. Let's see. Carol Garcia says, oh my goodness, so hard. I had to keep walking away after I said something so I wouldn't give in, and people were quite shocked at what was happening. You know why they're shocked? Because you closed the door, because you had it wide open for people to run over you for however many years of your life. And now when you try to take back the power that you gave them, now we have to remember this. You handed your power over. The only way that your power can be taken is you hand it over. Somebody just can't reach in and get your power. You handed it over. I handed mine over. Whatever. But as long as you start taking it back, you'll get it back like tenfold. It's amazing. Anna says, I am 46. Cradle robber. I remember when my parents were my age, I thought they had it all together. Laugh out loud. Now I realize just how much they were winging it too. We're all winging it in this world. I mean, but you just can't hold on to that. I mean, you can. I use that word can't. Not going to. You can hold on to whatever you want. You can be miserable. And if you want to hold on to things, you want to be miserable, that's cool. Go find a different podcast to watch. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. And we're going to grow. And we're going to grow together. And we're going to be happy. And if you want to be miserable, there's plenty of other channels. Oh no, I lost where I was. Julie Couch. Hello, Julie. Hey, love what you said about forgetting. You're welcome. And it's funny you jumped on here. I was getting ready to send you a message. The answer is yes, by the way, about that question that you asked me a couple months ago. We'll go into more details later. And then Greg, see this? Thank you. They needed a sucker punch. No, they don't. You need a sucker punch. Because you gave away your power. I need a sucker punch because I gave away my power. They don't need it. They're going to take whatever they can get. You know, I heard this a while back. The world gave you everything it was going to give you when you were born. Now all it can do is take. And it can only take what you let it. Same with people. Same with people. They're only going to take what you let them take. Something to think about. Anne-Marie says, when we heal ourselves, we raise our vibrations, others will slowly drop away. Do you know why they drop away, Anne-Marie? Do you know why? Because as we raise our vibration, those with lower vibrations just can't stand it. They can't stand to be around you. They can't stand that they're miserable and you're not. Again, like I said, misery loves company. And it's true. It's a fact. But the better you get at loving yourself, you put out a certain light. And those that just want to be mushrooms, fed shit and left in the dark, can't stand it, and they will fall away. The more you work on you, the less you got to think about other people. I mean, we all are, Cindy. We all are. There's no guidebook, there's no guidebook to when you're born. There's not here. Hey, here's what you need to know about this life. You don't even know why you're here this go around. If you believe in reincarnation, you don't even know what you're supposed to do. But I'll tell you what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to learn. That's it. There's your meaning of life, or part of it. You're supposed to learn. You're supposed to be better than you were. As long as you continue in an upward trend. Like I tell people, when I die, I want people to look in the casket, and I just want to look dead, just drained, because I want to be empty. I want to have learned, lived, experienced every possible thing that I can, and fixing myself and raising myself. That at the end of it, I got nothing left. Let's go back to some comments. We'll go back to Ken. Leave today for tomorrow. At the end of the day, reflect a little. What'd you do right? What'd you do wrong? Now, of course, wrong is subjective. But that little man, woman, child that's in your head is the one that's going to tell you what you did wrong. But did you? So look back, and if that little voice is telling you something, let's just dig deeper. You just don't go to bed and be like, well, I feel like shit, I'm going to bed. No. Let's dig a little bit deeper. It's going to hurt. It sucks. I just want to go to bed. I feel bad. Well, how about you make yourself feel good? You're in charge of you. When you wake up, you're in charge of your day. Whether you have a good day or a bad day, you're in charge. Ultimately, you're in charge. It's not other people. Got a flat tire today. Oh, this day sucks. Or I got in a flat tire. Could have been to keep me out of this multi-car pileup on the highway down here. How do you look at it? Which way do you go? You're in control of that. Oh, you meant learn. Learn. Okay, so we're gonna read it as is. Learn today for tomorrow. I actually kind of like leave today for tomorrow. That means you're putting today behind you for a new day. So either way, Ken, I like it. It's good. Oh, but I ran out of coffee. I gotta go to the store. Hey, get you out of the house. How long you just been sitting there miserable because you're not forgiving yourself and you're taking on more of that emotional baggage from that narcissist or that abuser or that yourself. You can abuse you too. I mean, 100% you can abuse yourself. Again, I say you abuse yourself worse than anybody else. I used to think it was stupid. Sorry. gotta situate. Um, you know those little. Some people say put those little notes, little sticky notes on your mirror, like "I love you" or "You're the best" or something like that. I used to think that was stupid until I, did it. And I mean, you change your own perceptions. Just these little things. How about when's the last time you told yourself that you love yourself? That you're happy to be you? You can't be anybody else. You're stuck with you. Might as well learn to be happy. A little sippy break. What do you guys think so far? Should we keep going? Or should we end it? We're at an hour and 9 minutes. Do we want to keep going? Let me know in the comments. I'm also getting Facebook messages from people that are in the comments, which is good. That means you guys are thinking about it and you want to talk about it. It's a good thing. Oh, I wish I could get over this crap that I got in my lungs. Great group therapy session, Brandon. Thank you. You're welcome. Forgiveness. Let's keep it going. Carol says let's keep it going. Okay. I'm here for y'all. We don't get to really talk one-on-one because, my show is based on talk show. We don't get to connect like this. And I'm good with it. Y'all want to keep going? We'll keep going. Keep going, Tracy. Ken says, yes, you're doing great. I had to forgive first too. Yeah. And those of you that are sending me Facebook messages, I get a little thing that tells me what you're saying, but I don't have Facebook opened, so I will be reading them after the show. I want to focus on us, and then whenever I go to relax downstairs, I'll go through the Facebook messages and we'll talk. Forgiveness. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Well, we got to go internal. Good night, Cindy. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to send you a message in a little bit. I'm just curious about something, so. Good night, Ghostbait. Such a sweet lady. She came out to the South Dakota event. We had a good time. Meditation is the best form that I have found. Sorry, my nose itches. For introspection. Now, you don't have to sit there in the lotus style, even though when I sit lotus style, I look like Buddha because my belly hangs over, and it's great. There's walking meditations. Like, I meditate constantly when I'm driving. There's a slight meditation. Obviously, I'm paying attention to what I'm doing, but, you can think internally. It's always a way to go internal. And start like 5 minutes. You don't have to be a yogi in like 24 hours and sit and meditate for hours on end. Just do it for like 5 minutes. And the whole point is to get comfortable just being with you. And I don't know why people don't think about it more. About you being with you. Because you're the only person you're really with. Like, you go to bed with yourself. You dream with yourself. You wake up with yourself. Yeah. As Austin Powers said, no matter where you go, there you are. It's funny, but it's true. And people just don't, think about that. Like, you treat yourself like trash, yet you are always with yourself, but you treat other people like it's your friends that you only see a couple of hours here and there. Treat them like gold. My favorite is corpse pose. Yes, just flat out. Yeah. Oh, but why is that? Why do you treat people that you love? Why do you treat them gold? It's because you don't love yourself. Because you should be treating yourself better than you treat anybody else. Tabitha says, I talk to so many people about taking care of themselves, and here I'm not listening. Well, no shit. None of us listen. No, I need to take care of this person. I need to take care of that person. This person needs me. I can help them. Well, you can't help anybody else until you help yourself. The whole thing with the airplane and the mask. Put your mask on before you put anybody else's on. Well, that's a huge metaphor in of itself. If you can't breathe, you die, more people die. Because you didn't help yourself first. I know it's an extreme example, but, kind of makes sense. Back to Ken. Sometimes we just need to pull back from everyone to find yourself again. 100%. That's why I like, my wife and I love my wife. I love being with her. But she knows that she's not the end all be all of my joy. And I am not the end all be all of her joy. I have things I enjoy doing. She has things she enjoys doing. And if you don't have stuff that you can do by yourself, you'll never figure this crap out. Hey, Sky. Beautiful sky. Kind of makes me proud to see Sky. She's been going through some things. I know. I don't know much, but I know a little bit. And, she's pulling herself up by the bootstraps. We've all been there. We've all done it. Sometimes when you get knocked down, it's the best time to look at yourself and figure it out. But yeah, like put some, pull back. Do you? Like, you don't have to go on a family vacation all the time. How about you treat yourself? To spa day or like a weekend. Like, you want to go somewhere cool, just you. Go to a movie by yourself. I've done it. I don't care. Just treat yourself. Carol says. Exactly. You have to be able to stand. Yeah. If you can't stand by yourself, then you're gonna just fall over when somebody else needs you. But it really doesn't matter. We're not worried about other people. We're worried about ourselves. We gotta strengthen us. Sky says your topic sure is hitting home. Thank you, of course, Sky. But yeah, forgiveness. It starts with us. It starts here. People are like, well, I can't forgive them for what they did. Why not? You're not forgiving them. You're forgiving yourself for taking on that garbage. Clean house. It's another thing that the 12 Steps programs, there's a cool little saying that says, keep your side of the street clean. Why do we go around pointing out flaws? When you see somebody and you get mad at somebody else, maybe it's a flaw that we're dealing with and it's glaring in them and we don't want to look at it. There's a lot of people that I know that can't even look in the mirror for longer than long enough to brush their hair or something. How long, that's a good test. Stare in the mirror. Look at yourself. I used to not be able to do it. There was the mirror experiment that I think we did in one of the rehabs. I couldn't even turn the mirror around. Now I can sit here and, look in the mirror. I'm okay. Because sometimes I'll see a flaw or something that I didn't forgive or something I need to work on, and I do it. James Brady says, I had to deal with family this year and it hurt, but I can't suffer for what they want anymore. Anymore. I encourage you to be you. Well, 100%. I mean, you can't be anybody but you. But you can't put on all these freaking masks. But in the long run, masks fall out. Ken says, with time, you will know what your body and mind needs 100%. But until you start looking, you don't know what kind of nourishment to give your body. You know, when you're a baby, you don't know what to eat. You don't know how to eat. You don't know how to find anything. Oh, it's kind of like if you haven't turned inward. You don't know what you need. You have no idea. You're just out there winging it. Winging a prayer. I'll figure it out. Well, how about turn in, spend some time with you. Then you start figuring out, what you need, just little by little. It could be, you know what? I need to go out in the woods, and I hadn't been out in a while. I need to go in nature. I need to go swim in the lake. I need to go for a walk. It's always I. Turn we statements into I statements. It's okay to be selfish. Because you're talking about you and you're talking about your life. And a lot of this, goes deep. Suicide happens a lot because you don't know what you need. And you feel like the only thing to do is end it. I know, been there. But if you do the shadow work, if you do the forgiveness work, if you do the internal work, if you do the cord cutting, or whatever you want, however you want to call it, it's a start. It's definitely a start. My hearing aid's doing that thing. It's tickling my ear. I don't like it. Hopefully this gives you a direction to go in. Somewhere to start. Some of us are further along on the journey than others. But it doesn't matter. We can all get to the same spot. Self-healing, self-love. I don't know. It sounds like a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. Oh my God, a Marine's talking about self-love? Damn right I am. I learned a lot about self-love and self-preservation in the Marine Corps, especially in combat. Because if I wasn't ready, how am I going to help the Marine on my left and my right? Did a lot of work in the Marine Corps, a lot of destruction in the Marine Corps too, but I wouldn't change it for anything because it has turned me into the person I am today. Tabitha says, yes, because I have been torn on how to move forward because of who it is. How do I put this, Tabitha? I don't give a damn who it is. You're the most important person in your life. I'm going to say that one more time. I don't give a damn who it is. You are the most important person in your life. Think about that. Start small. Start small. If you need to, start small. It's called the small rock problem or something. If you take care of the little rocks, all the big rocks will fall into place. I learned that from one of my sergeants. Good dude. It doesn't matter who it is, what it is. Take care of you first, and then the universe will help you. But the universe can't help you if it's too busy screaming at you to help yourself. Guys, I hope this has been an informative hour and a half, almost. Unfortunately, I am running out of steam with this getting over pneumonia. Excuse me. Hello, Nancy. I'm afraid you've come in a little late. We're about to wrap it up, and it has been screaming at me. Well, of course it has. Screams at all of us. You know, and a lot of people, I'll end on this. A lot of people are like, you know, the universe, the world, the powers that be are just out to get me. Yes, Anthony, you're late. I'm going to need a report, 3-page report on why you're late. You know, let's blame the world, the universe. It's all out to get me. No, it's not. It's actually out to help you learn. And sometimes some of us hard-headed MFers like me have to learn the hard way. And so the universe will provide the hard way. As long as you learn. As long as you learn. You know, I guess I'll put it out there one more time. I do have my first class that I am teaching December 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. This is the link. All you got to do is click on it and register. It's a free class. All my classes are going to be free. I do accept donations if you so feel that you want to donate. If not, just join us. It's called The Folds of Life. I cover a lot of things in the folds of life. Perception, reality, love, forgiveness, boundaries. It's a building blocks of how I have gotten to where I am. My experiences. One last go through the old comments. Oh, there's Carol. I'm gonna start that one so you can help me. Tabitha says, yes, it is. I'm one of the hard-headed clan. I'm telling you, if you're watching my show, we're all hard-headed. But that's okay. Nancy, the universe will keep smacking you in the head until you get it damn right. Sometimes you just get punched in the face. And sometimes you freaking need it. Kim, thanks, Brandon Cooper. Love you for the friend you are and the chosen family you have become. Love you too. Maybe we'll get together, go out to eat next week. Crystal Hill says nothing. Crystal Hill says nothing. Tabitha Meadows, thank you so much. Love and wellness to you and the missus. Thank you. We're on the mend. We got Ken. Thank you. It was a great topic. Thank you, Ken. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Barbara. Look, I wouldn't have a show. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. The most important thing, the most valuable thing that we have in life is our time. You know, you don't go to work for a paycheck. You sacrifice part of your time for a paycheck. You sacrifice part of your time to sit here with me. And I just try to bring joy and maybe new ways of thinking to you guys. I would not have this without y'all. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to sign up for the class. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be pretty interactive. Looking at, there it is. Edward, do you know, remember, it's not about surviving the storm, which is life, the universe, forgiveness, boundaries. It's about how you dance in the rain, which is peace and love and self worth. Remember to smile, guys. You know, smile didn't cost a thing. Love you guys. See you next Sunday.